Ahoy mateys, this be the Playing Dutchman, and welcome back to Kentucky Route Zero. Hear my voice go there. Yeah, it's been a while since we've recorded any of this, but for now we're going to be starting Act 3. Let's see what it brings. Okay. Nice cup of morning coffee, I imagine. We've been wandering around a lot in the last episode. That rain low. 83 and sunny now. Looks like it's gonna get up to about 101 by late afternoon in Louisville and 103 in E-Town. Not a cloud in sight, so get those parasols. Ha ha. Ha ha. Major accident just ahead of the Bardstown exit, so if you're headed to work on 31, you are late, my friend. Ha ha. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Ah, laughter. Sugar. Sugar? As it is. That's what Ira used to say. I had a dream about him last night. Those old horses of Ira's used to keep me up. He thought they were having bad dreams. I remember Ira wouldn't hear it. They're just horses. Those horses were troubled. Brownie got sick every morning in the stable. That's right. Charlie loved those horses. He'd sit on the roof and read his textbooks and watch them. He was so careful here. Or our roof was just in better shape than the one he fell from. I always told him to test each tile with a heel first. If it's a heel, you can kick it back and still put your toe on something solid when the tile slips. I remember your lessons. He just wanted to study his, what was it called? Aviation. That's it. How could I forget? It wasn't his fault. It wasn't anyone's fault, Conway. That's what we mean when we say it's a damn shame. Sure. Well, we have a mail order delivery. Might be a long drive. Hope the truck can hold up. Long drive? Oh, wait, no. Long drive, what makes you think so? They said they couldn't come in person. Maybe just a shut-in. I don't recognize the address. The order is all... I'm sure we can fill it. Not much left back there. That's good. Wouldn't want a disused pile of antiques to be my, oh, what's the word? Legacy? Maybe. No, that's not the word. I just need to think of it. More coffee or something? Or I've had too much. It'll come to you. Maybe. I'm not sure anymore. It seems inevitable. There will start to be words that I'll lose forever. What are those boxes you set in the hallway? Those are your clothes. You packed them yesterday. Of course. Cora should be here soon. Will you wait with me? Sure, Liz. I'll wait with you. There's your traffic and weather on the fives. That's every 10 minutes, brought to you by the Consolidated Power Company. Stick around for Old Kentucky Home with Kate, helping you turn your humble home into a mansion after this. So she's kind of going... well, she's losing her memories, for one. Dementia or something? Wait. The fuck's happening with my leg? We were at the doctor last we saw in the other campaign. But this seemed to have been a prequel. Though now I don't know. Dr. Truman. But that's only if you make a late payment on a follow-up visit. I think everything went well enough here that they'll only want to bill for Oh, he's awake. How do you feel, old man? All fixed up? Truman says you might be a bit misty coming out of it, so... I was dreaming. That's unlikely. That's unlikely. Nerpnol is quite powerful. In fact, many patients report a sensation of lost time. Do you feel like you've lost time? I guess so. It's been about 2 hours. What have you been doing? We watched TV for a while, then Dr. Truman showed me some of the terms of his bill. It's kinda... You'll want to look over it yourself, I think. How about that leg? How's your leg feeling? Yeah, that's the important part. Corey shifts his leg a bit in the chair, testing it. Well... What? This isn't my leg. What? It wasn't worth it. The shingles were cracked in the sun. One of them slipped out under his feet. That seems like the words of a demented man. Like all of these are kind of weird. I asked, this isn't my leg? Not your... Of course it's your leg. It looks wrong. You replaced it. I haven't encountered this reaction before, but it's not totally unheard of. I read a paper about something like this last year. It can happen for a lot of reasons. Neurological, psychological, social. I'm sure it won't persist in your case. Your thoughts and feelings are probably still a little nebulous from the Nerpnol. That's totally normal. It'll pass. I wouldn't recommend driving, at least for another hour or two, regardless. Thank you, Doctor. Sure. It's, let's talk about a few things you should be aware of. Recovery, rehabilitation, and side effects. How long am I going to be recovering? Well, at your age, I want to be clear. You should expect lingering effects of the injury for more or less the rest of your life. Don't immerse it fully in water. Avoid extremes of temperature. I'd stay away from dusty roads and mountain lions as much as possible. I mean, in general, you know, fooling around with mountain lions is probably not the best thing to do. Probably get your leg all scratched up and fucked up, but why specifically mountain lions? Like, it's like saying, well, I'd stay away from grizzly bears with that leg. Good advice in any context. Yeah, but not really in this one. Like, well, I mean, it's in general, but that's like, don't bite your nails in this case. Like, it's not... doesn't have anything to do with the injury. Best thing you can do is keep it clean and free to breathe. How often do I clean it? I'd say about once a month. If you find yourself unable to avoid overly dusty or moist environments, you'll want to clean it more often. And of course, have a doctor examine and recalibrate it every 12 months or so. Recalibrate. So, do you have any questions? Anything about the bill that didn't make sense? I don't mean to rush you, but I have an early fishing trip. Fishing trip, okay. Well, I don't want to keep you from important fishes. Tell them about the payment plan in the bill. Ah, yeah, that's one of the, atypical clauses. I don't really have any control over the bill now that the Consolidated Power Company bought my employer. They handle everything. So it all runs through your electricity bill now. You can pay it back in full on your next billing cycle, or you can get on an emergency credit payment plan. You'd have to call Consolidated for more detail about that. I don't really understand how it works. Something about generating electricity to send back into the grid. Oh, one more thing. Don't be alarmed if you experience any side effects of the Nerpnol. Typically, we see daydreaming, deja vu, pensiveness, fugue states, irregular perception of time. About 15% of patients report a generalized sensation of lateness. Nothing to be alarmed about, just keep it in mind. Thanks for your help. I don't know what voice I gave Ezra, if I ever. Julian's outside. We can head back to your truck. Okay. That is, it like the conversations and interactions in this game are so like not human. Wait, is the little fucker coming with us? Okay, let's talk to a dog. You get some rest back there? I don't feel much rested myself. We'll get a break. Maybe tomorrow, huh? Shannon? How are the drugs treating you? I feel a little distracted. You're probably pretty tired too. I usually feel more tired after a late night nap. Hey, do you ever take anything for that? Caffeine pills or... Never. Well, it's common in your line of work, right? The company store had some pills the miners used to stay awake. My folks had a peculiar relationship with medicine. We almost never had a regular doctor or health insurance or anything like that. Our immigration stuff was a mess for most of my childhood, so we only qualified for state programs and small patches before something or other would get contested. And we learned to just pile on dentist appointments and stuff in those sorts of short windows. Blah. We learned to just pile on dentist appointments and stuff in those short windows. If a cut got infected or her migraines were too much to handle, Mom would talk to so-and-so who knew so-and-so, usually another miner, and end up with some pills. And instead of medical advice, every pill came with gossipy, anecdotal warnings and superstitions. Like all of this lore that came with it. Like magic. Dangerous. Mysterious. Ever run into any problems? Sure, yeah. Stuff would be expired or mislabeled. Mom was allergic to penicillin, as it turned out. That was scary. And one time, in high school, we forgot these pills to help her focus. She was so smart, but always going off in different directions. Mind racing, like 5 conversations going on in her head at once. And you're lucky if even one of them is with someone in the room, you know? She had these pills, and they seemed to help. I was struggling in school, too, failing my history class. She offered to share the pills. Sounds dangerous. Yeah, they seemed pretty harmless at first. I guess that's why I kept going with it. One day I was sitting on my bed. My notebook was open next to me on top of a textbook, and I was holding a pen in my hand. I remembered this moment from several years before. It came up so suddenly, with such precision. I couldn't put it out of my mind. I felt I had to stay with it until I'd recalled the whole thing perfectly. It was just a tiny nothing moment. My mom patching up the side of a birdcage, winding some spare wire around the frame to reinforce it. I was fixated on that image. And that sound, the cage kind of bending and twanging as she worked on it. Repping a knot and scraping copper against paint like bowing a rubber violin with railroad tie. My parents came back from a triple shift and found me still sitting there on the edge of the bed, pen in my hand, delirious with thirst, patching that birdcage with a 1,000-yard stare. That's fucked up. Don't do drugs, kids. So, what's the plan here? I could use a bite to eat. Oh, okay. You've been on the road a while. Well, there's an all-night convenience store not too far from here. Is that okay? Sounds good to me. Okay, we can take 31 heading east. It's right before 65. 31, head east, right before 65. No, they are ready to leave. We are so ready to leave. Carrington's play. Carrington said to meet him at Equus Oils. Well, we know where Equus Oils is. So, we're going there not first. From take the 31 heading east just before the 65. 31 heading east. Well, that's 31. Wow. That should be... The truck engine sputters and dies as Conway guides it carefully off the road next to a fallen tree. Well, fuck. I guess we should have gassed up a little. That sucks. Well, I'm imagining it's all a tree. A tree. Okay, we are taking this little kid with us. Alright. What are we doing with the truck? Nothing to be done. Just won't start up. Can you take a look at it? I guess I could poke around in there, but I don't know a damn thing about engines. Wait, is this why you always leave your truck running? First time it's just died like this. Well, where's the champagne? Anyway, do you know this area? Anyone around here that could give us a hand? Looks like a roads crew's been out here. Hey, we should call someone. Do you know a good towing company? Lucky boot collision and towing. Car from Market at Wreck Recovery. Name of the number is a picture of a tow truck. I can't read the name of the number on this flyer, but it looks like a picture of a tow truck. Worth a shot. I'll give him a call. I hope I can get a signal out here. Yeah, that's in America. That might be a real problem. In the Netherlands here, we're so densely populated. It's like, yeah, you don't ever get no connection here. Like, you'd have to be in the middle of nowhere for, to have no connection. And there is no middle of nowhere in the Netherlands. Like, literally. Shannon speaks into the large brick cell phone held up to her ear. Hi. Hello? We got an old, I want to say, diesel old truck just stalled out. Inaudible, confused. This is, your towing company, right? Your flyer has a picture of a tow truck on it. Open 23 hours a day. Yeah, that's why I'm calling. Exactly, that's all. Now, if I know what obtuse means. Pull it. No, it's okay. We just need to get to an auto shop and get this taken care of. Thanks for the offer, but we really just need a tow is all. Neighborly. So, we already ate. As soon as you can get out here, we're off 65 somewhere. Just kind of pulled up by this tree that fell over. That's actually a pretty accurate description of it. Yeah, hanging over the power lines just like that. Did you see it go down? Okay, my pleasure. How long do you think you'll be? What? Radio music, distant traffic sounds. Hello? What? What's happening? I think they're on their way. Guess we have some time to kill. Pretty grim place to be stuck. I wonder what happened to the tree, I mean. Maybe it was just old. You know what it used to happen to old trees out in the forest? Wildfire would come through and clear them all out. It made room for new trees. But then people build houses, and we can't have fires going all the time, so we keep putting them out. And now we have all these old trees choking out the saplings. Starving the young trees for resources, just clinging on to life until snap. And then some road crew comes by and blasts the stump with dynamite. I think I'll take a look at that radio of yours. Maybe I can get it going again. No point in just standing around. It would be good to have some music. I'm a little dazed myself. Are you bored? Are you? Yeah, most of the time. Let's play a game. How about 20 questions? Okay. Ezra looks meaningfully at his shoes. Got it. Okay, guess. Oh. Right. Is it alive? No. Can I see it with my eye? Yes. Would I recognize it if I saw it? It would look like something you'd recognize, yeah. Yes. Is it bigger than a dog? No. A dog is bigger. Except for one of those really little dogs or a puppy, I guess. Does a puppy count as a dog? Alright, that's all your questions. What's your guess? I think I got a few more. I wasn't counting, but I'm pretty sure that was 20. Game of chess. A dog will be bigger. A nest. Is it a nest? Yeah! A pretty small nest, like made for a small bird. It's empty and it's nighttime. And it just rained. It fell out of the tree and now we're putting it back together. They'll take it apart again. I was all ready for those questions. What? What? How long do you think we'll be waiting here? Do you get bored late at night? It's so quiet. I guess you don't mind. Let's talk to Shannon. Get that radio going yet? That thing's been broken for years. So we'll get to find out what station you had it tuned when it went out. A snapshot of a younger man's tastes. Do you remember what it was? Some college station? Well, I'm sure we'll find something to listen to on the road. Like, okay. What to do, though? What do I do? Oh, I think I hear... It could be the tow truck. Where are we staying tonight? Some closet at the bar, I guess. Harry Esperanza's 4-star broom closet experience. Maybe it'd be nice to stay outside one of these nights, powered down just enough to rest. But keep an eye on the stars. Be there when the birds wake up. Sounds romantic. I'm a real romantic. Lucky me. Is the bike kind of dragging a bit tonight? We've stripped our gear down pretty bare already. Yeah, beats hauling a couple guitars and amps around. I look good with a guitar. Yeah, it's true. I guess you think I look good standing there with an amplifier under each arm, grinding my gears smooth. Atlas, son of Jupiter. I'm not sure that's right. Hey, yeah, didn't you play on this record? This is Dee Dee's record. Yeah, Dee Dee! Dee Dee, that guy is out of control. We should do a set with him. He's a creep. Yeah. That creep can play, though. What time is it? It's late. Harry's gonna flip out. That old man was born flipped. I just hope we can scrape up some tips. Hard enough when you just get there on time. I'll make sure Harry pays up. I have a way with him. I know. Who are these people? Well, I guess they just fucking drove past. You know, we're already late. So we better keep moving. I just mean... What's another few minutes? Fine. Just for a few minutes, though. You're the best. And hey, maybe if they're not busy, they can fill some seats at the gig. You know, if no one's there, Harry will try to bilk us for free. Bilk us on for free. They're turning around, apparently. I guess they'll be turning around. Was that him? That was a motorcycle. We're waiting on a tow truck. Yeah, they're too fast for a truck. I bet they're getting chased by something. Maybe they just have something important, somewhere important to be. Definitely getting chased by something. Well, apparently not. What's happening? Stay here. Careful, he's wicked with strangers. You didn't have to stop. We got a tow coming. Hear that? Hear that, Cricket? We didn't have to stop. Oh, why did we stop? That's a good question. These folks seem to have a certain handle on the situation. It seems like they're fucking with us, and they've only stopped to... Oh. So... Oh, we thought you were stopping to help. Sure. Something like that. Listen, we got 2 questions for you folks. What kind of people do you take us for? I mean, how do we strike you? You seem nice enough. What do you think, Cricket? Our generosity is unmistakable, ma'am. It radiates. It does radiate. Now, here's another question for you. Do you like music? Do you like music? Lizette used to sing in taverns on the weekend. Beautiful stuff. Of course you do. Say, they should come to our gig. What an idea. Wow. Okay, they're just smooth talkers. Okay. We're just trying to get back on the zero. The zero! Is that a fact? The zero. Hush, Cricket. You folks are in luck. I happen to know just where you're going, and I'm happy to lead you there. We've been down there many a time riding this baby. The weird vector, the sloth on wheels, the vicious cycle. That's what we call our bike. We call it the vicious cycle. Pretty tough, huh? Only, it's just... See, we have a regular booking tonight, and, well, we're running late. Very late. That's what I told them. Now, the old man who runs this venue, Harry Esperanza, is a notorious withholder, and if we don't get a few bodies in the crowd, well, he'll go all penny pinching on us. Just a short set. We only have 1 song prepared. You'll come to the gig, won't you? We aren't really on too much of a timer, right? I mean, it could be fun. Of course we will. Of course they will. Can you believe we almost didn't stop? Hungry, old man? I think I got a crust in the sidecar here. After all, it's so late. Well, it's all said and done. We stop. That's all that matters. Our gigs is at an old tavern called the Lower Depths. It's over there by Old Charlie Morn Highway, just east off 65. We usually take a ride off the interstate around the petting zoo. Johnny likes the petting zoo. I do like the petting zoo. What's not to like about petting zoos? Now, let's see about that truck of yours. I feel certain we can get it running. Fuck. Wait. Oh, we did get it running. Interesting. Convenience store. Well, we're first going to get some fucking food, because that was the idea. The convenience store is just a tiny booth in the middle of a lot that must have once been an active gas station. This used pump chip red paint into a dull brown and white stains. The light in the booth is on. Approach a window. The inside of the booth is big enough for a card table, 2 chairs and a few plastic crates filled with snacks and warm Coke. 2 men shuffle plastic dominoes around the table. Knock on the window. One of the men waves brusquely in Conway's general direction and returns his focus to the game. Look for a door. He finds a sliding surface window on the far side of the booth. It's a kind of surface window that can slide in and out of the booth without allowing anyone to reach in and make a grab for the cash register. Pass in some money. Knock on the window. One of the men sends his partner an exasperated glance, then returns his attention to the game. Pass in some money. Conway puts a few dollars through the service window. One of the men lets out a vexed sigh. Without standing or turning his eyes away from the game, he reaches into a plastic crate and retrieves a small blue bag, distractedly pushing it through the service window. Chips or some. The bag is illustrated with a cartoon drawn of an avocado. But the nutritional data suggests it's pretty sugary. The expiration date has been worn away. Wait. Like. Okay, let's follow these guys again. Petting zoo. Let's go to the petting zoo. The petting zoo's closed. Well, fuck you. Tavern. Alright. We did promise him to go to the gig. So let's go to the gig. The lower depths. Doesn't feel right. Like a deep pit. Wonder sometimes if I'm really up here or still down below. Let's go in. Kind of late. Are you sure they're open? Sure, they're open. This is one of those places. Those places. Let's head on in. We are not saints, but we kept our appointment. How many people can boast as much? That's lovely, ma'am. Who said it? A poet. They're very strange people. Ma'am, I hate to say, but the cupboard is bare. Have some vision, Cricket. We got 1, 2, 4 patrons. Harry doesn't count. Well, we've done more with less. What kind of music do you play? It's like Serrano Cole meets Ike Towner, but with a woman lead, and the keyboards are kind of ambient whisper wave. A little bit more reverb. There's some Dolly Crown in there too, like the early stuff before she joined the Sheet Swingers. Better drum programming though. I don't know who those people are. Or is it better to just smile and nod? Whisper wave, got it. I think he gets it, ma'am. Oh, he gets it. I'm gonna get it, apparently. Sandwich and bartender. I'm not gonna touch a fucking sandwich that has been lying on the thing. Goggles. A bulky set of black goggles sit on the edge of the table, next to an ashtray, a newspaper, and a few empty glasses. Huh. Who do you think that belongs to? Whoever they are, they're gone now. Must have been pretty tanked to leave it behind. This thing looks expensive. Let's talk to Ezra. Ezra flips eagerly through the jukebox's catalog of songs. What do you think? I don't know how to play this game. Well done. All I'm pouring tonight is Hard Times whiskey. Got any coffee going? No coffee. Hard Times whiskey. Say, shut the goddamn door, would you? Can't afford to run the AC all night. Sorry, Harry. Oh, it's you two. Where you been? Never mind. Listen, I can't keep this place open through the small hours of the night just waiting for musicians. Where is everyone? Everybody had to, clear out. Let's get set up, huh? There's nobody here to listen to it. I can't pay for it. We brought some people, Harry. A crowd is forming. Yeah, but also Couldn't you use a break, Harry? Been on my feet all day. But are you gonna be sing? Let's see. Let's listen to Junebug. Whisper Wave, right? The fuck is that? I'm up for hearing new kinds of music. How's it looking out there? How y'all feeling tonight? Can we get a bit more reverb in the monitors? There you just the soundboard behind the bar. How's that? Test, test. 1, 1, 1, 3, 50. Lamentation, lamentation, lamentation. Blah, 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 blah. Sounds good. How's everybody doing? Anyone had a real bad night? How about you, old man? Yeah, real bad. Well, we'll try not to make it too much worse. This is a song I heard in a tavern many years ago at an open mic night. Me and Johnny were out just riding around, you know? Just, you like to drive around, old man? That's where I feel at home. Of course you do. Oh. Fuck. So we're out riding around and we passed this gaudy old tavern. I mean, it was a real dive. Busted up facade. Weeds in the parking lot. Taps all dry. Bats in the bar room. The bar room. Of course, bar room. And run by this creaky bag of bones. Looked like the only thing keeping him awake was the fear of death. So glad to be back here at the lower depths. Hey, now. So we stopped for an early drink, and there was this lady singing right here on stage, and the song she sang, well, it stuck with us, and now it's a regular part of our repertoire. Never got that lady's name, but she seemed like a sweet gal, and she had a voice like Scotch whiskey. And we just hope we do her song justice. So, here it is, Too Late to Love You. Are you gonna listen to a full song? Like... Oh, no, we're just gonna be... the bar's just gonna be dissolving, alright? That's standard, like, fucking Yamaha keyboard, drum riff, groove. Well, I mean, you gotta do something for entertainment, I guess. I'd go with a different groove, but when you left me, I never should have met you. I wish we'd met before. I'm not gonna sing. I don't know what the fucking melody is. I'm just gonna read it out. Oh, never mind. I get to choose the fucking... I get to choose the lyrics. I wish we'd met before. Let's go for a kind of hopeful tone. I don't know. I wish we'd met before Oh, wait, she's actually singing it. Right? Okay, never mind. It's not really hopeful, is it? It's so late to love you now. Sucks. Never thought I'd miss you, I guess. We get to fucking choose the... Okay. Something's happening. A lot more dramatic and a lot less rocky than I figured it was going to be. But then again, all those artists she named really didn't mean a thing to me. I don't know if they're real. Probably made up. She also changed clothes really fast. And so did the dude, I think. He wasn't wearing an orange suit. I think I would have noticed that. Oh, okay. There were ones I wish you'd come back every day. After years I know that I'm bound to my fate. I thought that somehow love would find a way. Either of these are delightfully cheesy and vague. Okay, fuck it. Kind of like floaty without this music. The one thing I would change is the fucking backing groove. It sounds too elevator music. I'd almost say this needs like 1980s drums. Like the really obviously electric ones. Is this okay? The roof is coming back on. I wonder if I'll ever get my blue leg back, by the way. I see it glowing there. Or will I keep blocking with a bone leg? Well, that was something. Let's talk to Junebug. That was interesting. Well, hope you liked it. I've heard it before. Kind of sad, isn't it? Kind of. Listen, we appreciate you folks. We appreciate you folks for sticking around for the show. There's nothing more wretched than playing sad songs to an empty room. We just gotta get our fee from Harry, and then we'll get you headed to the Zero. Zero? Don't be Zero. That sounds suspicious as fuck. Well, Harry, I think that went pretty well. I'd say the crowd was into it. Reverential. Rapt. I guess the usual fee's about right, and we'll let you get back to your business. Well, that's just the, damn it, I was trying to tell you two. I can't pay. They clean me out. I got nothing left but a goddamn IOU from the distillery. An IOU? Yeah, I traded them for some whiskey, and I guess I had some surplus credit, so I got this note to get some more from them later on. Must have been a hell of a trade. I had to. Got to keep this place open somehow, goddammit. What's your language, Harry? Could you pay them with your IOU? Well, very contemporary, very astute. How about it, Harry? Let's push some paper around. Well, it's just I can't collect it on here. I couldn't collect on it here. When they bring more whiskey up, but for you to cash in, you'd have to go down to, down to the distillery, down to hard times. And you've got to take the 0. So that's what we'll do. How do we get there? You said you knew how to get there. No, I don't believe that's exactly what I said. It is exactly what you said. Are you folks sure you want to head down there? I've never been myself, but I hear people hear things, rumors. Do you know another way to Dogwood Drive? Dogwood? Got a letter, did you? I got a stack of them. Well, okay. Sounds like the 0's your only course now. Harry, you're all right. It's here. If only. You got a radio in your car? Yep. Well, here's what you gotta do. Take a left out the parking lot and just fiddle around on your dial until you hear something familiar, familiar but strange. You know, feeling? Like, I used to go hunt with my uncle out in the mountains, and I'll watch these nature programs. They're filmed in the mountains, and there's the deer, and I know all the plants and every kind of tree, but something just doesn't look right. And it's even stranger for being so close to familiar or something like that. You'll know it when you hear it. Fix that strange but familiar station on your dial, drive for a bit, and then turn around when the station cuts out. Right then. Hope you folks find what you're looking for, eventually. Always a pleasure, Harry. Is it? Well, gee, fucking thanks. What were you going to be doing? Yeah. What is this? That is nothing. What's this station? I never heard of this before. Sounds like horses? Horses running? A race? Charlie and I used to go to the races sometimes. Charlie, he was your buzz kid, right? The one who, yeah. Must be some memories there. Well, that fits familiar but strange for me. Are you said we just drive until it cuts out? Fucking drive and then turn around. What? Horses. On the road. This game is getting, like, weirder and trippier by the moment. The horses. We're on the 0. Do we have any... Oh, we can't go back to the fucking 65. Oh, okay. Hall of the Mountain King. That sounds too epic not to go in. Mountain King. Let's go. Let's do this. The bridge ends abruptly, crumbling in disrepair. They don't keep the roads up too well, do they? Not down here. Who do you think is responsible? Time to cut him loose, ma'am? Well, now I'm having fun. Okay, slow night anyway. Let's go on the boardwalk. So I don't think they're a couple if you call your significant other ma'am, unless it's like role play. It's kind of fucked up. A lubricated rope is coiled on the banister. Some rotted sections have been smoothed over with a fine dust. But yeah, like, no offense to anyone who likes that kind of thing in roleplay, but just like the natural order of things in a relationship should be equal footing, of course. I don't know. That's just my view on it, though. Broken computer monitors are heaped precariously among the rocks. Computer monitors. Okay. Pet carrier. Is that the Mountain King? A pet carrier for a cat or small dog has been left by the path. A calcified rag wadded in the corner may once have been a blanket. Backpack. Let's see. There's a backpack on the road there. May scavenge it. A hiking backpack leans against a rock. It's empty except for a dusty bag of cat food and a few punch cards. Ah, no. A pile of discarded electronics burns steadily in the center of the chamber. Amy? Oh, it's triangles within triangles down here. Shifting, intersecting, overlaying. Isn't it romantic? Let's see. You're here to steal back the love of a boy you once knew when you were too young to recognize the movements of the heart. And you're escorting her, pretending to have her interests at heart while really you're in love with a young woman as well. And so you've agreed to help him conspire to win her affections, but it's just a ploy to set him up for embarrassment and diminish him out of the picture. I'm into it. No. What are you talking about? No, you're right. It's insipid, derivative. I used to be really good at this. I had 11 novels published, from The Billionaire's Bidding to Fields of Longing. Real hot bodice-ripping stuff, you know. I miss those days. In my Lexington studio apartment, just me and my thesaurus steaming up the window. Why did you stop writing? You know, suddenly it was all computers everywhere. You went. I thought I might be able to do something with that. Inject a little libido into those ugly beige boxes. So I went back to the university and I studied human-computer interaction, and then I picked up Donald's research assistantship here as a tester, debugging. In my off hours, I played around with the doomed love story at the core of our little simulation. That seemed to amuse Donald, so I kept at it. I'm afraid I tinkered too much, made it too complex. Now our work is never done. We don't even have to add any new functionality. The bugs just grow on their own. Too complex. I miss those days in my Lexington studio apartment. Lexington studio apartment. Old man, is that Donald? Donald puffs on a smoldering pipe while half mumbling, half singing an old country tune. Where the old green river runs through hills and caves not known to us, down to the sunless sea. Oh, who are you? Sorry. Did we startle you? I might say you did. I thought you might be one of them. No, you can't be. We've been patching all their spy holes. We keep the lights dim and the monitors running softly. And we route the smoke through. That through. That is... What were we talking about?
What's that computer over there? It looks pretty vintage.
It looks like a harmless old computer, doesn't it? Like some beat-up mainframe exhumed from a university basement and left in this cave to rot, or to flower. No, it's no ordinary computer. I've modified it extensively, and in some pretty experimental ways, believe you me. And that's to say nothing of the software, but... you look like a technically minded sort of person. Tell me, do you know the effects of mold growth on diffuse-based transistor circuitry?
Sounds like it would short-circuit.
Certainly, but not all of it. Some moldy filaments are more or less conductive than others, and it grows in non-linear, chaotic patterns. We can guide it a bit through a simple application of classical horticulture, but we can't produce specific results, only tendencies. Thwarted and feeble, we hammer on this derelict keyboard. My name is Reason, King of Kings. But we are mere gardeners in the ruins. Our keystrokes echo off into the tunnels, boundless and bare. The caves stretch far away. We are too late, always too late. What? Did you say something?
You were about to tell us about the software?
Oh, the software. My life's work. Xanadu. You heard of it? Perhaps you've read about it in a journal. It's been years since I published anything. Xanadu has evolved significantly since I explained its data structures in my article, Literary Multitudes, Hypertextual Narrative as Post-Cultural Witness, blah blah blah. Evolved, and then deteriorated. I'm afraid you are too late, fellow hypertext enthusiast. As the mold accumulated on the circuitry, Xanadu blossomed for a moment into something holy and enchanted. Then all the charm was broken. Do you have any idea what it's like to spend your life building something and then sit powerlessly as your work declines into ruin?
Tune book, not really. I drive deliveries for a small antique shop, and we're closing down.
Shuffling around the dusty ghosts of antiquity. Well, I have my own ghosts, and I keep them in there, in Xanadu. And it's running on that glorious dusty machine. Take a look if you'd like. Too late to do anything but smoke and reminisce anyway. Far too late to do anything.
Okay, let's talk to Andrew. Do you know that when I first... no, I mean, if this cave were larger, could it... Now I'm getting ahead of myself. I've got it. Would you characterize this space? How would you characterize this space? The one we're standing in now.
It seems endless.
You have no idea how right you are. Decades of mapping and notating. But how can you tell? What formal quality makes it seem endless, you know?
There are tunnels everywhere.
We're surrounded by them. Look at that one up there. You know what? No, let me explain to you what's in that tunnel. You won't be scared. But close your eyes. Will you close your eyes? Okay. Good. Now, you're standing at the top of a rocky peak. A tongue of flame licks the shadowy anatomies of... Where are we? Oh, here again. How disappointing. Sorry to, disappoint. No, it's my fault. I shouldn't be so attached to the future. It's always getting in the way of my work. Better to be in a moment, carefully observing and documenting with no attachment. Let me give you an example. I was a grad student studying statistics when I started working with Donald on this project. He said we needed someone with a more analytical mind to do the descriptive writing, someone who would appreciate the cave descriptions as real labor instead of taking their authoritative voice for granted. Donald warned me it would be long hours of typing painstakingly detailed descriptions into the computer. And I've put in the hours, believe me, I've put in the hours. I've described every facet of this cave in such detail that sometimes I don't know if I'm reading or looking, writing or exploring. Often in the dark and lonely moments, I worry that in my sleep I've transcribed rooms from my dreams into the system. How would we know? They could only be entered with precise, faithful detail. That's all I know how to write, and all I dream about is caves. I only dream of caves. A massive gate constructed out of scavenged materials blocks passage down the far side of the spire. Roberta, of course. Don't miss everyone here. The kingdom is in peril! Well, what else is new? Oh, where's the kingdom? You're in the throne room. There are 3 legendary treasures hidden throughout the castle that will restore these ruins to their former glory. Do you work here? Work? You could call it that. I gather old circuit boards and throw them in the fire. Sometimes I fish out precious metals and let them cool into toxic gems. I put them in my hair. Enchanted jewelry, talismans, a magic mirror that prevents the future, a magic shield that protects the bearer from age, a magic chest that's always filled with... I never went to the university. I was an independent scholar. It means I took the public libraries like Beachcomber, and blah blah blah, like a beachcomber. What the fuck is a beachcomber? Comber? I studied fairy tales. And then I came to work for Donald. I paid the bills, rubbed leathering elbows with academics, scraped black mold from cave walls. Finally, now I carry the firewood into senescence. The kingdom is in peril. Xanadu. There you are. Baffling control panels are sheltered from the elements with a worn tarp. A closet-sized wall of knobs and wires looms behind the machine, humming faintly. An electronic typewriter is the only easily recognizable component. Well, let's go to Xanadu. Let's interact with Xanadu. How do you think we get it started? This old thing? Maybe there's a hand crank around. Oh, it has a run key. A run key? We started it. Scene 5. Xanadu. Alright. Oh, look at that. Trippy. I do that with my mouse. Okay. What the fuck is happening? That's Den of Arda. The fuck is that? That is... You are... This thing is in rough shape. Try blowing on it. Okay, that's worse. Kind of looks like a house, type house. Yeah. Sorry. That's ever. Okay. And blood quit. I don't know what's going on. You're in. Time for some percussive maintenance. Go away, throw inside of this machine. Oh, I have my portable degosser with me. Old systems like this one can build up a remnant magnetic field that sort of warps everything along whatever pattern it's set it into, you know? The degosser clears that up by suddenly shaking the magnetic field around it until it's uniform again. That's how I like to think of it anyway. Like shaking a snow globe. Worth a shot. Hall of the Mountain Gink. Well, okay. That's making no sense. It's where you set up your premature end of file. Press a key to quit. This is a lost cause. What a piece of junk. Lost cause. Blah blah blah. What? What? What's happening? Hall of the Mountain King again. Alright. Bizarre. And what was that about Lula? Maybe Donald knows how to clear it up a bit? Sure. Let's head back to Donald. Good old Donald. We know what the fire's doing. This is where we walked up to the place. We already talked to Amy. We've talked to everyone. So, you've seen it for yourself. What's left of it? So, you've seen it for yourself. What's left of it? Pretty busted. The chalky bones of a beautiful dream. But you can see what it once was, can't you? Can't you? There was so much more to it. Ornate labyrinths of memory, exhaustively simulated parallel cave ecosystems, real artificial intelligence built on sophisticated neural network algorithms. The birds in the forest could flock in 3 dimensions, the bats could learn to sing. And then it began to crumble when the strangers came. At first we only heard them, walking heavily through the caves, dragging things around, hammering and clattering their tools. Sometimes we heard working songs, never close enough to make out real voices, just their echoes cascading wordlessly in the tunnels. Then we caught a glimpse of one. What did they look like? They look like... No. It's too horrible. I shouldn't be telling you about this. They're dangerous. They're strange. I should never have tried to outwit them. They were always too much for me, but it's too late now. If I listen to Lula, Lula? Lula Chamberlain? Yes, of course. Oh, do you know her? We're looking for her now. No, she's gone now. She left. We built this together. Did you know Lula, Joseph, and I... Lula's gone from here, but... still in there. In Xanadu. I don't know where Lula is now, or how to get there from here, but how to unwind that damn tangled highway, but... Xanadu, before its ruin, was faultless as an oracle, a shrine to perfect simulation. Until... But maybe... those weird interlopers destroyed my Xanadu. Perhaps they know how to fix it. It may be dangerous. I've sent many eager seconds to negotiate with them. To repair my masterpiece. Back there, that tunnel. Push back the vines, crawl out into the darkness. Watch your step. After a while, you'll feel terrain change beneath your hands and knees. From rock to crystal and then to mud. Then you'll be out. That's where the strangers come from. Now leave me alone. I still have a bit of mold in my pipe and a few dreams left. Smoking mold? That can't be healthy. Are we going to the stranger? Where the strangers come from? Alright, we're doing it. Oh, okay. Well, this can't be right. Looks like an old church. Worth a look inside, I guess. I want to stay outside. Why? I think I saw a lizard. I'll stay with him. Okay, we'll make it quick. Wait. Oh, okay. I'm Ezra now. All right. An epitaph is engraved on the stone grave marker. Sam Crisp, generous disposition, will be missed. Below the inscription, a note is written in white chalk. HT8191T, fill date June 29, notes of almond. What? Notes of almond? Doesn't that mean gangrene or something? An epitaph is engraved on the stone grave marker. Nicholas O'Brien and Edward Lombard. We think you two would really have liked each other. Below the inscription, a note. HT8192B, fill date July 24th. Weird finish. Weird finish. Epitaph. Colonel Elliot always had a far-off look. Probably still does. HT8192E, fill date August 1st. Aftertaste of rainwater. It's one mighty weird way of describing that shit. Would be fun if these are all like the developers. James Connolly or Garrett Pauls. HT8192N, fill date September 8th. Sweet and fungal. Epitaph. Michael Palin would have wanted it this way. Is that a Monty Python reference? HT8192Q, fill date Maple/turpentine. This makes no sense at all. Andrew Thompson would have said something. Should have said something. Fill date November 1st. Sense of foreboding. Epitaph. Unknown. Seemed reasonable. Easy on the nose. Let's talk to Junebug. Find any lizard? I wasn't really looking. Nice cover story, kid. Is that guy your boyfriend? Nah, what's a boyfriend anyway? It's a word people use because everyone else does. Doesn't mean anything to me. He's my cricket. See? It means something. It's specific. It's also a word for an animal. It sounds lonely. Not for us. You just gotta make choices and own them. You think I was born this foxy? I came off the assembly line about a half-foot shorter and all gray. No eyes. You're going to have us clearing out the old mine. Doesn't matter what you look like under all that rock and water. A bunch of gray shadows shoveling and hammering invisibly at the walls, draining the tunnels. Johnny found some gear, an old tape player. We hid away in an underwater cave and listened to it over and over. And we knew we weren't miners. We slipped out onto the road, just these two featureless shadows. And ever since that night, we've been detailing, coloring in, specifying. I feel more like myself every day. That's actually kind of cool. I feel less like myself without my folks. Sure, some people are born into a family. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, and some people really are better off not associating with their family in the least. I'm very lucky to have a great family, but yeah, I know that's not as normal as I thought it was. There you are. What'd you find in there? It wasn't... Hey, what's going on? You look fleshed, old man. It doesn't matter. Right. Okay, we got what we need. Let's go. What the fuck happened there? Back into the Lair of the Mountain King? Hall of the Mountain King? The fuck? Alright. Sorry.
Trace an orbit round the road and close your eyes with holy dread. For on we mold and whiskey fed and drink from rivers down below that don't fucking work.
We found your strangers. We know how to fix your damn machine. But I'm not sure it was worth it.
Oh. Soon the visions will return. What have you found?
They say you need to type in a specific phrase to restore it.
Oh. Bit of a poem to rally the illustrious spirit, of course. Well then, type away. By all means, do not hesitate. Type away.
Let's walk to Xanadu then. It's I'm like, what happened in that fucking place? I mean, apparently they met with the strangers, but it might not have been worth it. Are they scarred for life? Okay, we're supposed to type dome in air. Weird. Just following instructions. Here we go. Anything happening? New chapter? New act? Xanadu. Well, I mean, that we know. Alright. Xanadu. Not messing up. Alright, so what do we got? At the end of road. Same house-like structure. Very ominous feeling, though. You're standing at the end of a road before a small brick building. Around you is a forest. Check out the building. Enter building. Inside building. Ah, that music. You are inside a building, a storage shed for the natural park surface. There's a sensible modern electric lantern nearby. Sensible. Get the lantern. Get lantern. Taken. Exit building. Enter forest. This is something you can enter. Just type a direction. North. That music was kind of, I don't know, creepy in a way. But old game music, like very old one that's kind of distorted, tends to be pretty creepy. You are in open forest with a deep valley to one side. Can we climb a tree? I don't think much is to be achieved by that. Sorry. Can we dig a hole? You can't see any such thing. Pretty limited vocabulary. South. You're in forest. Hey, it's a maze. East. East. You're in forest. Lula is here, soldering replacement components in a small handmade radio. Talk to her. Hi, Donald. I'm getting the strangest interference out here. I've been tuning the radio circuits gradually as we go, swapping capacitor values and tweaking resistor networks. It was working for a while, but everything I can pick up sounds so distant and muffled. Let's see. No, I was thinking maybe the bright whiter letters might spell out something, but there's no. That's just to make it look a little bit more wonky. Lula hands you the radio. Well, maybe you'll have better luck. You're good at this stuff. Just don't forget to give it back. I don't know. It doesn't work. I don't know what to do. North. You're in the forest. Joseph is here, tapping with a small stylus on a modified pocket braille slate. A small gray kitten, no more than a few weeks old, dozes comfortably on top of his backpack. Maybe it's something to say. Listen. Donald! I was just transcribing your footsteps. It sounded like... Joseph runs his finger along the index card he's been tapping on, from right to left. Long, weary song, drearily gone. You beat a melancholy shuffle through these woods, Donald. What the fuck? I've been noting down the sounds of the forest with an ear for speech and an inborn filter for poetry. I suppose so. Maybe it's me being melancholy after all. I'm eager to see what the poetic subsystem makes of these punched cards. East? At edge of hole. That seems like a hole. So, what's going on here? You're at the edge of a massive hole. The dirt gives way to rock as the ground sinks into darkness. The computer tied to your upper back slickens with sweat in the afternoon sun. The rope slung around your shoulder has slipped under the strap of your backpack, digging uncomfortably against your collarbone. Yell into the hole first to see if there are pirates. Yell. I only understood you as far as wanting to yell. Yell. Any pirates down there? No response. Sorry, kid. You're betting 0 today. At least we know there's no pirates. Shine a lamp into the hole. Your lamp is now on. Shine a lamp in hole. The lamplight only reaches a few yards down the hole, where the rock is coated in slimy black mold. You can tell that the walls are too slick to climb safely without assistance. Will you get me leaning a bit? Down. The cave walls are too slick to climb safely without assistance. You lose your footing and fall to your death. No, wait! That's not what I said. I said lean in. I didn't die! I also did just spit on my fucking... Your score was 0 out of a possible 8192. What? You may continue or quit. Continue. The fuck? Please have a checkpoint. Try using the rope to climb more safely. Tie rope to tree. Down. Your feet slip a few times on the slimy rug, but you remain stable. Lula and Joseph descend carefully after you. That's what I wanted to do, motherfuckers. I just said I lean in. In bed quill? What does that mean? We're in a cave. That much is clear. You're in bed quilt, a long east-west passage with holes everywhere. Joseph and Lula remove the computer equipment they are carrying on their backs and begin setting up. That's the last trip. So everything's down here now. Say something back to her. You make an awkward joke. Don't be so morbid. Lula looks pensive. What's the gear they're carrying? Ask Lula about gear. Sure, Donald. We may as well take inventory. I've got the tape machine and the synthesizer parts we borrowed from the School of Music. It's all tuned up to my voice, so we won't have to type so much. Joseph has his slate and the punch card he's transcribed from the poems we read him. He's got the typewriter and his paper tape reader. And you got the CRT display. How's your back holding up? Asked Lula about the cave. Having second thoughts? I don't blame you. It's unsettling down here. Weird acoustics. Earlier, as we were climbing down, I thought I heard voices for a moment. Or, not voices themselves, but the echoes of voices singing. Some kind of eerie, tuneless working song. I'm glad I'm not down here alone. Joseph looks uncomfortable. Jealous? Hey, Donald, can you help me, wire these generators? I'll assemble the synthesizer, but I could use some help with the serial interface if you have time. You hear an unfamiliar echo from a tunnel to the east. She'll have some more to tell us. I mean, Joseph did ask us. But I don't want to play favorites here. Appreciate it, Donald. I'm not much of an electrician, you know. You know that. Joseph hands you a bundle of wires. His kitten curls up on a spool of cabling. Listen, the three of us had a good thing for a minute. Wouldn't you say? Up at the old place before it got ugly. I'm saying, we came down here to work, to really do it. Xanadu. And I mean, we got to be rational about this. All three of us have got to put our feelings aside for a bit and be rational. You know what I'm saying? Is he talking about Lula? Kind of creepy. Tell Joseph. Seems down here we're all strangers. Permanently strange. You're interrupted by the ominous echo of a grating, scraping sound from the east, louder than before. What the hell was that? Let us check it out. Let's check it out. Let us check. That's not really how people talk. All right. Let's go into the tunnels and see if we're safe. Which we are probably not. Alright. You rush down the tunnel with Joseph and Lula close behind. Looking kind of intense back there. I hope they've moved on by now. The tunnel narrows, and soon you find yourself crawling on your hands and knees. Navigating the tunnel gradually becomes more awkward as smooth rock gives way to jagged crystalline surfaces. Scratches and taps echo from the end of the tunnel, some short and piercing, some slower and groaning as if dampened by water. The tunnel opens into a large room. It's probably the room we went to. In Crystal Room. Is that Crystal? That seems like a person. Multiple people. Hang on. Ja? Nee, ik ben aan het opnemen. You are in a large, irregular chamber. The walls, floor, and ceiling are covered with crystalline projections. Strangers are here, scraping black mold from the crystals. They look up when you enter. One of them seems about to speak. Finally! Let's listen to what he says. The stranger reaches for a box he's carrying and presses a plastic button. The box whirs to life, and a crackly voice blurts something unintelligible, then slows to a deep gurgle. He looks at his companions momentarily in confused disappointment, then he returns his awful gaze to you. Joseph flees through a tunnel to the north. Lula flees through a tunnel to the northeast. Follow Lula. Lula's headlamp scans across the northern passage as you run. Soft shadows loom perplexingly from floor to ceiling. You feel around to distinguish shadows from crystals, but eventually find yourself cornered. You've hit a dead end. Who are they? Come comfort her. Comfort Lula. You reassure Lula that strangers are harmless. Are you? Are you sure? Maybe you're right. It sounds like they've gone back to work. Alright, let's try to pass them quickly now. Don't make eye contact, and then we'll find our way back to the equipment. In bed quilt. Okay, we're back in the fucking cave. You're in bed quilt, a long east-west passage with holes everywhere. Lula's here, panting for breath. Did they follow us? Where's Joseph? May as well wait. Wait. Time passes. Lula nervously runs her hand along the vein in the cave wall. She seems pretty scared. Reassure Lula. I know, but... Never mind, I don't want to think about it. We should... I guess we should wait for Joseph here. This is where he'll go, right? Let's search for him. Search. I at least understood you as far as wanting to search. You have to be more specific. Down one of the tunnels, back with equipment back outside. Down one of the tunnels. Search tunnel. You select a tunnel at random. Your lantern illuminates several sets of footprints on the moldy cave floor, but they are impossible to identify. With the equipment. Search equipment. Various computer and audio equipment casts angular shadows into the tunnel as you scan slowly across the pile. Nothing. Joseph climbs down from the rope still tied above. The damn sounds, those damn voices! I don't even know what direction I was running. I wove through that network of tunnels. I ran my hand along the wall, always turning left, but every turn and every rock felt the same. For all I knew, I was running in circles. Finally, I ended up here. I hid. I panicked. I heard you talking, but I didn't think I could trust my senses. I heard you talking, but... Huh? I didn't think I could trust my senses again, okay. But listen, there's one thing I have to tell you. While I was out there, lost in the tunnels and caves, I came across the Zero, and I had no idea. It's like a real place. They pick up garbage, they deliver mail, they go to work at the church. But it has an awful kind of emptiness. Wandering through, I heard horrible echoes. Weird images got burned into my mind's eye. A television, a scarecrow, a crystal, a feather, a sandwich, a CRT monitor, a bottle, an anchor. Who lives down on her feet? We should ask him more about that. So, yeah, it's... Maybe it's mold-induced hallucinations. Donald, you've heard the same damn stories I have, but it's different. It doesn't matter now, damn it. I'm leaving. To hell with all of it. He has his own right to leave whenever he wants. Get back on track. We're so close. Divert Joseph's attention. Oh. You shout something at Joseph about the project you were working on together. You'll die in these damn cold caves. And what about those men? You know they'll come back. So we can hide from the strangers. It's just finding a hiding place. Did you hear their voices? They're not... They'll find you. But not me. I'm going back to the surface. Stop! Your stupid fight is ringing through the whole damn cave. Joseph is right. We can't stay here. I'm leaving too, but I'm not going back to the surface. I'm taking my station wagon and I'm headed down to the Zero. Whoa, don't let her leave us there. Get Lula's attention. You plead with Lula about your continued collaboration. I'll send you this tape when I'm done recording. I'll put it in a mail and then you can see what your damn machine does with it. Lula and Joseph have left. I think that's inevitable, as that's how he end up alone here with his apprentices, apparently. Abandoned by your collaborators, your confidants, your companions, the only two among your colleagues with whom you've ever trusted the gift of your friendship. Pretty thick. Sounds like Beardo had his heart broken. You wonder the tunnels alone. You wander the tunnels alone, dragging along the components of your unrealized masterpiece, combing the underground passages for a new side in which to realize your vision. Sounds like a genius. Sounds like a genius. How do you mean? Vain. Vanity, ain't it the truth? My Aunt Remedios, before she got into the whole ethnomusicography thing, she was a painter. Mostly nudes and oil. Rar. She had this model, I'll never forget him. Big, classically physical guy. Looked like he was about to storm Troy. Made everyone call him the Colonel. Weaver and I saw this guy naked a lot. Couldn't help it. He was always posing somewhere in the house, chasing the light from room to room while Aunt Remedios made a sketch of his profile or worked in the right mix of pigments for his abdomen. The Colonel had this magnificent hair, long black hair that ran down just to the bottom of his shoulder blades. One evening, he was standing next to an open window in the back of the house. The sun was setting, early spring, I think. It was kind of windy. Aunt Remedios was trying to get his hair right. She kept arranging it like half in front and half behind, running over his shoulder and laying across his chest in a very specific way. But it itched him or something, and he'd do this weird indignant shuffle thing, or the wind from the open window would push it around, or he'd start and turn his neck when Weaver or I ran by, and everything would be tangled again. The final product was a swirl of black lines billowing around the top of his neck. Weird thing is, I don't even remember his face now, just that black swirl. Probably the best one she ever painted. That seems highly irrelevant. Are we in the Hall of the Mountain King now? This is a long act, by the way. Recognizable. Place I must have built after my collaborators left me behind. After what may have been years, you stumble out of a tunnel into a cavernous open space. Stalactites adorn the ceiling like grotesques. In the center of the room is an enormous rocky spire. This is where you'll set up your equipment and establish your legacy. Now we have a Xanadu and a Xanadu. Now's the time to continue your work. Research assistant, 0. Realism index, 37%. Romance index, 2%. Mold coverage, 0%. You may hire new research assistants, assign assistants to a task, or sleep until tomorrow. Well, we have no research assistants, so hire a new assistant. Uploading job advertisement to university message boards. You've hired Andrew, who studies statistics. You may assign research assistant to debugging, transcriptions, or speculation. What did Andrew do? Debugging. Assign available research assistant to debugging. Hire a new research assistant. Hire. Uploading job advertisement to university message boards. No new applicants. Try again later. Sleep. The time passes. Andrew fixes some weird math with some weirder math. Now is the time to continue your work. 47%. Romance index, 2%. Mold coverage, 9%. Well, that's higher. Higher. Uploading job advertisement to university message board. You've hired Rick, who studies library sciences. No new applicants. Transcription. You have 2 research assistants available today. Assign how many to transcriptions? 1 is hire new research assistants. Sleep. Time passes. Rick summarizes the migratory patterns of bats through the tunnels. Greasy black mold is collecting on the computer equipment. Now is the time to continue your work. Research okay. Realism 62%. Romance 0. Mold 18. We have 4 research assistants, right? Weaver studies mathematics. Probably you can hire one. Yeah. One. Sleep. Time passes. Andrew posits that nature, not reason, is the master of industry. Intruders. Strangers are doing something to the equipment, but you can't make out what. You hide behind a rock until they leave. With trepidation, you emerge from your hiding place hours later. Now's the time to continue your work. None of this is getting us any closer to the 0. No! Research in 3. Realism index. 57%. 15% romance. Hire new research. Assign assistance to a task or sleep until tomorrow. Marianne, who studies fine art. Try to quit and start over. What? Sleep. Time passes. Rick makes adjustments to the eclocation algorithm. Bats now fly normally instead of getting hung up on each other's wings and clustering together like horrible leathery tumbleweeds. Andrew widens subtle slightly to reduce the need for extra couch commands. Weaver identifies a bug with oxygen level simulation, but is unable to fix it. Marianne fixed bugs. Weaver follows the strangers into the tunnel. She doesn't return, but neither do they. Now's the time to continue your work. 3. 85% realism. I think we're going for 100%. Hire. The blowing job. 5. Hired Greg, who studies architecture. It's like fucking 4. Let's do everyone. Let's not do everything. Okay. Sleep. Time passes. Andrew carefully transcribes the sounds of dripping water in all their variations over a period of several hours. Marianne extensively notates tunnel diameter as a function of length. Rick types up some lurid imagery from a dream journal. Greg transcribed experiences. Greasy black mold is collected on computer equipment. Its realism is 100%. Okay, sure, we can keep playing. I mean, I don't know what it's doing. That was a rhetorical question. Quit game? I only stood you as far as wanting to quit. Maybe we have to lose or die somehow in order to start over. Smash the computer. Smash the computer. Violence is the answer to this one. Maybe we have to wait it out? Research assistants come and go. You don't encounter the strangers again, but sometimes you can hear the uncanny echoes of their voices off in the tunnels. Years pass, mold accumulates. You and the remaining research assistants take to burning disused equipment in the center of the room. The black mold is intensely flammable and makes an excellent catalyst, leaves behind a sweet, narcotic perfume. One night you have visitors, outsiders, different ones. Then, later that night, an old friend. You really did go deeper into the caves. Premature end of file. Presenting key to quit. Huh? Wait, so now... I don't know what's happening anymore. Like... This should be the last. This is going to be an extensive episode, but I know. I didn't, like, upload anything yesterday or the day before, so... Y'all deserve a little bit more. You really did go deeper into the caves. Well... You were easy enough to find. I've met a few of your former assistants. One can't help but hear things. So, this is what became of our project.
Oh, I've made some additions. Joseph stole the data tapes for the first half, so I've had some blank spots to fill.
Yes, I know. He published his version, actually. I'm sorry to report that it's a bit tediously sentimental. We've been looking for you. So you found the address data. Just pass it over to Donald here. Donald, will you be a dear and crunch these numbers? We're looking to sort out a street name collision. Dogwood Drive. Wasn't the Bureau going to process it?
I insist. I have cycles to spare. I'll just pack my pipe and get to it. Should only be an hour or so. Andrew will carry it over to...
I'll be at the Bureau for the rest of the night. Just mark it private materials for the attention of Senior Clerk Chamberlain.
How do we get to the Bureau from here? The bridge.
Yes, the bridge. Through the gate over there.
Now we, too, recede into history.
Good night, Donald. Meet me at the Bureau and we'll get you on your way. Head counterclockwise to the cathode ray, then turn around. Then it's just clockwise until you find the Bureau. Between us, I think you should drive. Yeah. I think that is a good idea. Let Shannon drive. I'm probably a little woozy from the Neuropnol, possibly down. She's backpack. Hiking backpack, empty wine bottles, and library books. What else we got? We're all running. Apparently I'm fit as a fiddle again. Look at that. Tape recorder. Someone has left a portable tape recorder on the path. It doesn't appear damaged, but there's no tape to play or record. It doesn't really matter then. The echoing music just makes it all the more confusing and trippy. The bookshelf was carried only partway up the path here before the project was abandoned. It's still useful. The peak of the spire is crowded anyway. Hey, lantern. A sensible modern electric lantern has been left here. The batteries have long since died. Alright. Back to our truck. They are ready to leave. They are very much ready to leave. So what was... No. From the Hall of the Mountain King, head counterclockwise to the cathode ray, then turn around. Just clockwise until you find the Bureau. The cathode ray. The tape recorder. The cat carrier. It's like, yeah, so apparently it's like fucking like hallucinations or something. Tape recorder. So the mouse is moving on its own. It's the cat carrier. Are we seeing the same thing? I think we're seeing the same thing over and over again now. Been heading clockwise. Head counterclockwise to the cathode ray, then turn around. Then it's just clockwise until you find the Bureau. We were passing the same fucking imagery. anything happening. I didn't see that thing for... Lost is no shame. I'll take over. Yeah, that's a good idea. You still have better luck finding it? Crystal. Do you remember the fucking crystal? Sprocket. Bicycle. Cactus. The antlers. I remember the crystal. Maybe we should turn around at the crystal. Scarecrow. Bureau! Fuck! Alright. Changing seats apparently worked. Bureau for claimed spaces. The directions were a bit, actually really... That's Miss Chamberlain, right? Or... Oh, wait. What's up, Lula? Here you are. Marianne has the rest of the evening off, so I'm minding the desk. Any word on the address? The results just came in by courier. Good news. Donald's and his assistants were able to sort through the noise. I had Rick cross-reference their results against some of our records. He found a corresponding mail stop on the Echo River route. As it happens, the night ferry is scheduled to make its stop here shortly. The ferryman carries the mail and collects the garbage as well. I'm sure you can catch a ride out that way. You're welcome to wait here. I have to get back to packing. You going somewhere? I might. I'm feeling impulsive, and I'd like to be ready. Maybe back to Mexico. It's been years. They still have one of my sculptures in a museum down there. Ah. Jolly. Did you know? Big, ugly iron thing? Time to have it scrapped, anyway. Safe travels. Try to stay out of the water. It's colder than it looks. And deep. What are we doing? Like... You telling the rest we're waiting? Yeah, apparently we are. Wait for a boat. How long do we have to wait? Oh, who knows? Alright, what happened? Up to you. It's okay, you can tell him. It doesn't matter anymore. Fine. So we're in that graveyard. Of course. Well, I am actually where the strangers come from. Well, this can't be right. Looks like an old church. Worth a look inside, I guess. I want to stay outside. Why? I think I saw a lizard. I'll stay with him. Okay, we'll make it quick. And then I went to look at headstones, or Ezra went to look at headstones, and we went inside. The church floor is cold metal, scuffed and flecked by unknown boot heels. A handmade apparatus for the production of moonshine assembled from scavenged metal and natural materials. Alright, I guess we sit. I don't know what I expected. The strangers, he kept saying. Kind of vague already, isn't it? Donald's a stranger. Donald's a stranger. Hell, you and I are practically strangers. Listen, earlier in the mine, I didn't want to talk about it, but what did you find down there? When I saw Weaver, she was on TV. I was testing a pretty simple tube repair, flipping through channels to check the saturation, and she was just there. It was kind of horrible. I mean, I told you she disappeared. Suddenly, ran away? We thought... You thought she was dead. Yeah. I guess I don't like to say it. Dead. And then, the next time I flipped the channel to channel 2, Weaver... It's burning in my vision now. She's standing in her room. The walls are blank kind of gray. There's tape on the walls, like markings and desks. A classroom, maybe? The camera's in the corner, so it's this sort of 45-degree angle into the room. And there's Weaver right in the center of the picture. I stopped turning the dial. Hell, I think I stopped breathing. Eventually she spoke, but there was no real sound, just this awful hum. I read the closed captions. She said to go to the mine, that I'd find something there. I can't remember her exact words. Whenever I try, I get distracted, fuzzy. So dusty in here, right? Yeah, real dusty. You'd think with all these holes in the ceiling... Wait, the hell is that? Did you hear that? We should check outside. We should... Oh. Okay. We're just sitting like, alright, this is happening. Skeletor. Man, person. Wait, I'm playing Skeletor. Alright. Nope, I need to talk to the visitors. The stranger activates the tape player, slowing his shoulder. A crackly drawl echoes in the room. It is patient and sounds like it should be smiling.
My regrets. I hope I didn't keep you waiting long. We don't see a lot of foot traffic these days. I guess you hear about the job. I'm afraid we only have one opening at the moment. Horrible business.
We're actually looking for some information about an old computer.
Certainly. I can tell you everything you need to know. I've only just met you, but I feel certain there's a place for you here. I'll just take you over to meet the dispatcher, show you the trucks, get you familiarized. We can converse as we go.
What is this place? Well, it's not an old church. Oh, I guess not, but still, there's a kind of reverence to it. What's that smell? Like bread? Baking bread?
Please follow me.
Okay. What?
I have to ask you to step in here for a moment. This is for your own safety, and adjust your outfits just a bit. There's some protective headwear up on the wall back there. Please remove your shoes and eyeglasses.
We don't wear glasses.
So that won't be an issue. Well, Do us a favor and put on the headwear. Anyway, just this way.
Wearing helmets, so we're complying with safety regulations. Like if I click that thing, Earl.
This is Earl. He used to be a beekeeper, borrowed some used casks to store the hives, but the interest accrued more quickly than the honey. Now he works for us here in logistics. More new arrivals this evening. Plenty to do. Got to relay the formula.
We actually just need to ask you about a computer.
No. The orientation is all done by voice and rote. We don't believe electronics have a role in our company culture. Computers are tools. Plenty of interesting mechanical this and that ahead, though. Shall we move on?
Wow, check this stuff out. It must be decades old, but it's in perfect condition. How do you think they keep it like that? Maintenance, old man. I bet it's someone's job around here. Probably hard to keep all the dust out, underground. So I got into this business, to keep old stuff like this running. Seems like such a shame to let it just fall into ruin, Like that computer back in the cave. Xanadu? Decades of engineering, thousands of years of mathematics and philosophy, all petrified into living stone. How could you just let that fall apart?
Very interesting. Let's go ahead.
Not what I meant to do.
I'm pretty sure it has no consequences.
Why?
Here's the fleet. Oh, we just use these to get around internally.
How big is this place?
Oh, it's grown a great deal over the years. Incredible to think, really. When Mr. Bishop founded this operation, it was only about 1,800 square feet, and half of that or more was occupied by camouflage to keep the law out. Hiding out in the back of an old church purifying spirits by handmade fire, a kettle, and a dream. So, the trucks are just east a ways in shipping. You can become acquainted with the dispatcher there. Give me a tap on the shoulder if you see something that catches your eye. Always happy to show off the facilities, sublime machinery.
Finally. I was waiting for that burp. It was like stuck in my throat. Alright, let's head off to shipping. The fuck is this place? Makes you get the freeform drive around. Nothing interesting up there. Oh fuck. It does turn realistically. Especially for like a point and click game. I think that's a little bit harder to do. Because you have to actually like engineer the... We're gonna be looking around. Spirit safe.
Confidentially. Don't let them catch you looking too closely here. Not within our purview.
What's it for?
Keeps us honest in the eyes of the state. Well, in the eyes of the management, anyways. We keep pretty well out of view down here. Not much chance of being spotted by helicopter, hey? But if the law came knocking, we could say we were locking and securing our virgin spirits. We could say. Marvelous engineering, though, isn't it?
Let's all get in. We're at distillation. No, wait. Distillation ain't shipping. We want to go to shipping, right? Alright. Let's just fucking... Okay. Turn around. Better. That's a lot better. Okay, let's just head down to shipping. Now, this act has gone on for a while. This room ain't getting any less dusty and fucking hot.
Here it is. Now, I have to ask as a matter of course, what kind of experience do you have driving trucks?
I drove deliveries for an antique shop up until this last run.
Ah, precious cargo. You'll do just fine. And you can drive safely, can't you? I haven't any doubt now. It's only after what happened with Miguel this evening.
What happened with Miguel this evening?
Well, the dust is still clearing, of course. Perhaps he closed his eyes for a moment, or simply hit a curve too devilish. I do pity ill-fated Miguel. He was good company, and slow to anger, but if we're speaking confidentially, well, with all that lost product to be repaid, bourbon and glass dashes across the interstate, and a few casks too, we're all just thankful he had no next of kin. So let's see if we can bring up the dispatcher.
Another deep monotonous phones.
1020 on that load, come back.
Up in the Hummingbird, Cave 1012, City Kitty.
This is a good time. Dispatch, we may have found Miguel's replacement. Thought you might like to get acquainted.
10-9, come again.
Introduce yourself.
Pleased to meet you.
Tell dispatch something impressive about yourself. They're well regarded here.
You folks know anything about a moldy old computer? 9-9, wheel holder. Gotta pay the water bill.
So I'm certain they'll call back before long. Let's take a look around the truck, eh?
Like, I wasn't looking at gravestones for this long with Ezra.
Headlights work fine, I see. See? That's important. Most of our product goes out at night. You never know who you'll run into in the daylight. And dusk can be treacherously misleading with all that indirect light. The magic hour, huh?
Drivers sleep in the day, then.
Sure, those that sleep. Miguel put extra day shifts when he could. Sometimes he'd help me, you know. Sometimes over in bottling. He shouldn't have been out driving at dusk. Weird shadows, soft light, dangerous.
Highways look pretty okay.
That they do. Moving on. Oh, sure. I know you want to look. Kick the tires. That's the thing we do, isn't it? As though our knees could exert the kind of force these tires see out there on the road. We're more likely to hurt ourselves. Isn't it the way, eh?
Tires look fine.
Oh, I'm sure. It wasn't the tires that failed our dear Miguel. We are quite sure.
What kind of man was Miguel?
As I always say of him, he was good company. Many of us have found ourselves in his position, arrogantly grasping at personal sovereignty when our lives had become unmanageable. There's no shame in it, only condolence. Now, what else can we show you? Control the wipers with this knob here. They seem to have decent torque to them, eh? Can't say how they'd fare in an ice storm, but we must never delay a shipment. Better to assume the risk.
Always clear skies down here.
So I heard. But most of our product is delivered by surface roads, which feel rain quite often, particularly in the spring months. So I hear. I'm sure the wipers are fine. Of course. What else then?
Check the back out.
Looks like it's just about ready to go out. We have some good strong folks in shipping here, so you never need to worry about loading if you don't want to. Bit hard on the knees and back at our age, eh? Of course you'll have to unload at the destination, but that's the job. And some drivers like the extra shift stacking and loading here.
I shouldn't really do any lifting these days.
I see. Well, surely we can spare a dolly and carrying strap for your health and safety.
Conway woke up on baled hay. Sounds like a lot of work around here.
It's in our interest, friend. After all, we must meet our financial obligations.
What the fuck is going on? Driver, come back.
Ah, there's dispatch. Now tell them about your experience. Tell them the truck's in good shape. Tell them you'll start in the morning.
I really can't. Yeah, we gotta finish this delivery in a few. 10:33 dispatch. Got 2 black eyes and a flock of crocodiles. Come back. 10-4. Back it down and prick your eyelids, driver. Come back, Lem. 10-4. Come back, wheel holder. 10-4. Got your ears on? Good. Listen to this.
So, I think that went well. Let's head back up to the logistics and seal the deal, eh? And I've got one more thing to show you.
What the fuck is going on? What's happening? Do we need to go that way? Okay. Now we're heading. Alright, let's head to logistics.
Let's head back upstairs, eh? I have one more thing to show you.
Wait, we only came here looking for some answers about this stupid moldy computer.
Oh, the old man in the cave with the moldy computer. That black mold. It's drawn to whiskey. It feeds on ethanol fumes, you see. As we age the whiskey, some of it inevitably evaporates into the air. The angels share. It goes through the vents here and out into the caves. If we can scrape up that mold, we can usually apply some pressure and cold to it, squeeze and condense the angel's share back into drinkable whiskey. Every drop counts when you're making a living on the stuff. So we'd go down and scrape it off his equipment, just like any other place it grows. He kept sending his people here to drive us away. Paranoid. Truly paranoid. Well, now we have the formula, so we don't need to go collecting mold. But we didn't do anything to his moldy computer. He just forgot the password. One of his assistants shared it with me. Dome in air. That'll get you going, I'm sure of it. So, join me upstairs.
Well, we need to go upstairs to head back to fucking to the cave.
if you don't mind.
Yeah, we should probably give their equipment back to them. But I ain't working for those fucks. Adding machine. Alright.
Here it is. A beauty, wouldn't you say? It's an antique, you know.
What is it?
Why, it's an adding machine. This is where we come for our daily ritual, to calculate the day's interest and repayment according to the formula. I usually do so at the beginning of my shift, so I know how many hours I need in order to keep up. Yes, I believe you'll do well here, sir. Happy to have you. Congratulations, you're hired.
Wait, we can't.
It's customary here to start each day with a shift drink. Let's make it special. Mark the occasion. This is the top shelf stuff now. Single barrel.
He doesn't...
Down the hatch. Vinum memoriae mors.
I can only drink.
Decent enough. Welcome aboard.
He's not working for you. We have to get back to this. He has a delivery to make.
What's this? Not working? Are you turning down this opportunity?
She's right. We have to make this,
I'm disappointed. And I'm afraid that leaves us with a delicate problem. As I indicated, this is the top shelf stuff you're drinking now. It isn't cheap. If it's not your first shift drink, well... And there's the matter of this tour just now. My time and experience are billed at quite a premium. This is not good for you, my friend. You're in quite deep. By my back-of-the-envelope estimations, well, we have that in common, I suppose, all of us. Yes, I'm afraid you'll have to work this off somehow. It's just the way of it.
What's happening right now?
You can start tomorrow. Take the time to settle your affairs, of course. Of course, the interest begins to compound immediately.
Well, we'll go over the formula when you get here. I should get back to work.
See you tomorrow, then.
Hell no. I understand the distress, though. Because that's fucked up. So, I guess I start in the morning. I guess? I'm confused. It's just the way these things go, kid. Huh. Well, that still gives us a few hours to roam, right? Where's that ferry? I wouldn't be working there. Like, this guy assumes we're here for the job applications and hires us without us saying a word. Nope. Mammoth? Mammoth. Alright. That works. Let that be the end of this act. Because it has been going on for quite a while. Right. So. Damn, that was a long episode. Yeah. It's basically to compensate for not recording yesterday and the day before. But now you have even more content. So. I quit the fucking game, though. So, you have me in full screen right now. Anyway. If you like this episode, give us a like. And join me crew for more booty. But now, off the plank with you.
A frigate sails us all they tell from every corner of the realm. The most and keyboard of the helm. The lads of the Playing Dutchman. Soon you'll all be singing the chanty tune of the Playing Dutchman.